lot of guys, Bob, going for long runs out here on the racetrack. And look at these guys bounce around.
Yeah, that's what I want to point out. Look at these cars dance all over the place with the high center of gravity in the COT machines. They were just dancing. Very loose conditions on the track here today for everybody involved. And today was, a little bit cooler than yesterday here. But I want to show you the 24 and the 48 team. You see them bouncing around. A little bumper tag with the 41. Jimmy Johnson complained all day long that he had a loose race car, even on the straightaway. And Chad Canal said, you know what, Johnny? There's no way I can fix that.
All right, so still a lot of questions about these cars as we see them dancing all over the place. And a lot of teams were learning exactly what they could do in the draft and in the bump draft as well.
You look at the Biff right here, Greg Biffle in the 16, bumping Jeremy Mayfield, who didn't have a very good test, but Greg Biffle had a very tight race car, so they finally improved on the speed charts. He hopped up into the top 10 late in the morning session.
It seems like it's been a little bit difficult to get the back of the car really settled in. You feel like it's underneath you and you feel like it's good, and then you'll get in a different scenario with guys placed differently around you, and the way that it affects the air, all of a sudden you're sideways and you're kind of wondering what happened, so we've seen like we've got a better control of that now, and it's just kind of a learning process. It's still new.
I think most of it's the cars. The splitters are so low you can't get much travel, so the front ends are always pretty solid no matter what tracks we race on. We're getting inch and 3/4 inches of shock travel instead of 4 like we used to. So when you don't have that travel and you don't have that to absorb the bumps, it's going to feel rougher out there. So I think it's more so the car really than the track.
Kyle Busch in the 18, those guys are just having a great test session. Kyle behind the wheel of his new ride. Jimmy Johnson down to 5th.
This might have been the best news for everybody in the garage here. Take a look at this pack right here. This is what you need. You need at least 8 cars, and we have about 10, 12 cars there. So they got an accurate read as to how their car was going to handle when we come back here, at least when their teammates come back next week.
So it wasn't the easiest of the day for a lot of guys. There goes Casey Mears. More trouble for that team this session.
Yeah, tough weekend for him. He crashed his Bud shootout car when they cut a tire yesterday and then blew up that engine. They packed it up and headed home after that.
And as we take a look at yet another pack of cars after we got the racetrack cleaned up, back to green flag action again in this test session. You see your fastest guy of the day, and that was in that afternoon session. That was number 18. But what about the guy behind the wheel at 28?
Yeah, you see that red helmet inside that car. That's Carl Edwards. And, of course, little partnership between Roush Racing and Yates Racing. Carl hopped in that car to help Travis Quapple. And last night, the 16 team and the 1 team unloaded a 3rd car to be implemented into today's test. And for Martin Truex Jr., the experiment with the 1C was a success.
Jacques Villeneuve, Bob, may be changing his plans for next year.
Future remains unclear for Jacques Villeneuve and that Bill Davis team. They were going to run for Rookie of the Year. Right now, all they are going to definitely do is 5 races, but a lot hinges on the first race, the Daytona 500, because you have to make the Great American Race to make your season work.